The sun lingers at the edge of the world, caught between farewell and promise. Light stretches thin, painting the sky in hues of gold and violet. In that fragile hour, the wind forgets its name, and silence begins to sing. Dreams stir beneath the skin of the earth, waiting to be remembered. They rise like soft echoes from a time before time, fragile but eternal. And somewhere beyond the reach of sight, a voice whispers through the veil. Morpheus, it says, the dream is fading. He listens, eyes half closed, feeling the tremor of 1,000 sleeping hearts. The world has forgotten how to dream, and the stars grow restless. Between night and day, a bridge begins to form, thin as breath, strong as hope. It shimmers with unseen life, a path of memory and mist. Morpheus steps forward, his presence calm, his gaze infinite. He moves through twilight like a thought crossing between waking and wonder. In the stillness, he speaks softly to the unseen listener. Dreams are the pulse of creation, he says, and creation is fading. Thus begins the search for Twilight's champion, the one who will restore balance, the last dream before the dawn and the first light after night. The day dies softly, leaving traces of gold upon the sleeping horizon. The last light fades, trembling as if reluctant to let go. Shadows lengthen, not in menace, but in quiet remembrance. The world exhales, and night begins to bloom like a dark flower. Yet in that silence, something is missing, the hum of dreams. Once the night sang with colors unseen, woven by sleeping minds. Now the stars flicker uncertainly, as if searching for forgotten rhythms. Morpheus stands upon the threshold between worlds, his heart heavy. He gazes upon the mortal realm where people sleep without dreaming. Eyes closed, yet souls remain still, untouched by wonder or fear. No visions of flight, no whispers of lost loves, no songs of stars, just silence, endless, hollow, cold. Dreams are the language of the soul, the breath of imagination. Without them, the spirit dims, turning life into gray stillness. Morpheus feels the weight of this fading upon his essence. He remembers when dreams danced like sparks in the dark, when each sleeper carried galaxies behind their eyelids. He recalls laughter that shaped constellations, tears that became rain. All those fragments now drift away, dissolving into nothingness. He kneels beside the river of sleep, its waters dull and listless. Once it shimmered with light, the reflection of infinite dreams. Now it carries only shadows and silence. He dips his hand into the current, feeling the absence of pulse. The current is thin, tired, as if the dream itself is dying. From beyond, faint whispers reach him, fragments of forgotten visions. A child once dreamed of flying. Now she fears even to close her eyes. An artist once painted stars. Now his canvas lies blank. A poet once wrote of love. Now his heart beats without rhythm. Each forgotten dream falls like dust into eternity. Morpheus closes his eyes and listens deeper. He hears the heartbeat of the universe, faint but steady. It tells him there is still time, though the edge grows near. He knows that for balance to return, a champion must awaken, not from the realm of gods, but from the realm of mortals. Someone who still carries twilight within their soul, a being of both day and night, heart and shadow. Someone who has not forgotten the language of wonder. He looks toward the sleeping world and sees faint light, a small glow beneath a silver sky, pulsing softly. There, in a quiet village wrapped in mist and moonlight, a dreamer stirs, unaware of the destiny within her. Her dreams shimmer like fragile threads, defying the void. Morpheus watches, hope flickering like the first star of evening. He whispers to the night, his voice a blend of sorrow and promise. The world still breathes, he murmurs. The dream is not lost. The wind carries his words across the horizon through sleeping minds. And somewhere, in the silence between heartbeats, a spark ignites. The first step has begun, though the dreamer does not yet know. For even in stillness, the universe remembers its own song. And in the fading twilight, destiny begins to awaken. The moon rests low upon the horizon, veiled in silver mist. In a quiet village by the river's curve, a young woman dreams. Her name is Lyra, known for her gentle heart and distant gaze. She dreams often, though lately her nights have grown dim, but tonight is different. Something stirs beyond her slumber. Her breath slows, her spirit drifts beyond the veil of sleep. She finds herself standing beneath an endless twilight sky. Gold and indigo clouds drift slowly, painting the horizon in wonder. The air hums softly, carrying whispers of forgotten songs. Beneath her feet, the ground shimmers like woven starlight. She knows she is dreaming, yet it feels more real than life. Around her, fragments of lost memories float like glowing petals. A child's laughter, the echo of a storm, the scent of dawn. Each fragment brushes against her skin, warm and fleeting. Lyra reaches out and the world seems to breathe with her. For the first time, she feels the rhythm of dreams themselves. And then she senses it, a presence beyond form, vast and calm. Morpheus steps from the mist, his voice like the hush of tides. "Do not be afraid, dreamer," he says, his tone soft yet eternal. Lyra gazes at him, her heart trembling with wonder. "Who are you?" she whispers, though deep down she already knows. "I am the keeper of what sleeps between stars," he answers. "Dreams have dimmed. The bridge between realms is fading." Lyra listens, her soul stirred by the weight of his words. "Why tell me this?" she asks. "I am no one of power." Morpheus smiles, and twilight flickers across his eyes. "Power is not what is needed," he replies. "Only balance." He gestures to the horizon, where day meets night in silent embrace. "Twilight," he says, "is the moment of truth, between endings and beginnings. The world has forgotten how to dream. You must help it remember." Lyra steps back, confusion mixing with awe. "Me? But how?" He reaches out his hand. His touch feels like warmth in moonlight. "Because you still dream of hope, even when surrounded by silence. You have walked both the light and the shadow without losing yourself. Within you, twilight endures." She feels his words sink deep, like roots into fertile soil. The wind swirls gently, carrying the hum of distant stars. Around them, the dreamscape begins to pulse with faint color. Lyra feels it, the connection, the possibility, the awakening. Morpheus looks toward the horizon, his voice a low murmur. "A great stillness has fallen over the minds of mortals," he says. "They sleep but do not dream. The song of life grows weaker. Yet through you, the melody may rise again." Lyra nods slowly, though fear trembles behind her calm eyes. "What must I do?" she asks. Morpheus turns toward the flowing river of light before them. "You must walk through the forgotten realms," he says, "gather what was lost and restore what was silenced." As his voice fades, the stars above begin to move. They spiral into constellations that shimmer like living stories. Lyra feels a gentle pull, drawing her forward into the unknown. The dream folds around her like wings of twilight. And as she steps onto the path of light, a whisper follows her. "Dream bravely, Lyra," Morpheus says, "for the world dreams through you." The dreamscape stretches like an ocean of light and shadow. Lyra walks slowly, her feet leaving ripples across the starry ground. Every sound feels alive, a whisper, a hum, a memory reborn. The air glows faintly, breathing in rhythm with her heartbeat. She turns, sensing a familiar warmth behind her. Morpheus stands nearby, cloaked in twilight's gentle shimmer. His eyes hold galaxies, his presence both vast and kind. "You have crossed the threshold," he says softly. "This is the realm where thought becomes form." Lyra gazes around in awe. "It feels endless," she murmurs. "It is," Morpheus replies, "for dreams are without borders. Each soul adds a thread to this tapestry, woven by imagination. But the threads are fraying. The pattern is fading." He gestures toward the horizon, where light flickers like a dying flame. "Dreams once flowed freely between hearts and stars," he continues. "Now they falter, trapped in the cages of fear and forgetting." Lyra listens, her chest tightening with quiet sorrow. "What can I do?" she asks. "I'm just a dreamer." Morpheus smiles faintly as though hearing a melody long lost. "That is exactly why you were chosen," he says. "You still believe in wonder, not as escape, but as truth." He raises his hand, and a sphere of twilight forms in the air. Inside, colors swirl: gold, silver, deep blue, and rose. "This," he says, "is the heart of twilight, balance made visible." It exists between waking and sleeping, hope and despair. Lyra reaches out, drawn by its soft radiance. When her fingertips brush its surface, warmth floods her soul. Images bloom within her mind. Laughter, tears, stories untold. She feels the dreams of others like distant songs, children painting the sky with starlight, lovers dancing in moonfire, artists shaping worlds with breath alone, and beneath it all, the heartbeat of creation. Morpheus watches as her eyes widen with light. "This is the song of the dream," he whispers. "It connects all things, seen and unseen. But it is fading, because mortals have forgotten to listen." Lyra lowers her hand, trembling with the weight of it all. "Why me?" she asks again, voice barely a whisper. "Because you still hear it," Morpheus says simply. "You carry the memory of both dawn and dusk within you. Where others see endings, you see beginnings." He steps closer, the glow around him soft and infinite. "Lyra, will you walk the path of twilight? Will you restore the bridge between dream and waking?" For a long moment, the dreamscape holds its breath. The stars above tilt, waiting. The rivers of light pause mid-flow. Lyra feels the choice burning within her, gentle yet eternal. At last, she nods. "I will," she says. "Teach me." Morpheus bows his head, his voice filled with quiet pride. "Then rise, Twilight's champion," he says. "The first step begins not with sight, but with faith." The twilight sphere dissolves into her chest, becoming part of her. A pulse of light spreads outward, restoring color to the sky. Far away, the sleeping world stirs, a faint whisper of renewal. And in that stillness, a new chapter begins. The dream has chosen its guardian, and her heart shines like dawn. The path before Lyra shimmers like woven glass, stretching into endless twilight. She steps forward, the ground pulsing softly beneath her feet. Each step feels heavier, as if the air itself remembers sorrow. Morpheus's voice echoes faintly, distant yet near. "Beyond this veil lie the forgotten realms," he whispers. "Dreams once vibrant now drift in silence, waiting to be found." Lyra moves deeper, her heart steady though her breath trembles. Mist curls around her, forming shapes that flicker with memory. She sees a playground, quiet and overgrown with silver moss. Children's laughter lingers like ghosts in the air. She bends down and touches an abandoned swing. It creaks softly, and a faint glow blooms from its chains. A forgotten dream of joy rekindles, fragile but alive. Lyra smiles through. Tears. "They're not gone," she whispers. "They're only waiting to be remembered." The mist thickens, reshaping into a vast library of glass towers. Pages flutter in the wind, blank and pale. Each book once held the dream of a story untold. She opens one, and her reflection gazes back, uncertain, fading. "Memory," she murmurs. "This realm is the dream of memory." She breathes into the book, and words spill across the page like dawnlight. Names, faces, and songs return to the paper as if exhaling life. The tower hums with warmth as long-lost tales awaken. Lyra feels energy return to the dreamscape, a heartbeat revived. But the path continues, winding through sorrow and silence. She enters a garden made of broken stars and glass petals. The air tastes of forgotten promises and half-remembered love. Every flower droops, its color drained by neglect. She kneels and cups one in her hands. Her tears fall upon the petals, glowing faintly where they touch. Color floods back, soft pinks, golds, and blues. A breeze stirs, carrying whispers of laughter and forgiveness. Each bloom opens, releasing fragments of human kindness. Lyra closes her eyes, overwhelmed by beauty and ache. "These dreams," she says softly, "they were never lost, only left behind." Her voice trembles but remains steady, filled with quiet resolve. The twilight around her brightens, the mists turning golden. Above, the constellations shift, realigning into harmony. Morpheus's voice returns, carried by wind and echo. "You begin to understand," he says gently. "Restoration comes not from power, but remembrance." Lyra nods, her eyes shining with reflected starlight. She looks ahead and sees a new path forming from the light she restored. Each dream reborn becomes a stepping stone beneath her feet. The silence that once weighed heavy now hums with warmth. She walks on, feeling the dreamscape breathe once more. Behind her, laughter rises faintly, echoes of rediscovered hope. Before her, twilight unfolds like a promise yet to be kept. Lyra whispers to the stars, "I will remember for them all." And as she walks deeper into the unknown, the world of dreams stirs. Every forgotten whisper becomes part of her heartbeat. Every rekindled vision becomes light in her path. The dream is waking, slow, tender, eternal. The path narrows as Lyra steps into the realm of reflection. The air is still, heavy with silver mist and quiet thought. Here, the dream bends inward, folding upon itself like a mirror. Every surface gleams with faint light, glass, water, and shadow. She sees her own face reflected 1,000 times, each one slightly different. Some are smiling, others weeping, some whispering words she cannot hear. A soft voice rises from the silence, distant yet familiar. "Do you know who you are, dreamer?" it asks. Lyra turns, but no one stands behind her. Only mirrors, endless and watching. "I am Lyra," she says softly, "the one who dreams." The reflections shimmer, and a darker version of her steps forward. Her twin wears no malice, only sorrow. "You dream of light," the reflection says, "but deny your shadow." Lyra's breath catches. "I do not deny," she whispers. "I fear." The mirrored self tilts her head, eyes calm and knowing. To walk the twilight path, you must embrace both. You cannot restore balance by hiding from what you are. Lyra feels her heart twist with understanding and pain. The reflections around her begin to murmur like restless water. Each one shows a memory she wished to forget. Moments of doubt, loss, and the quiet ache of failure. She kneels, trembling, watching herself in all her forms. Morpheus's distant voice echoes, soft but firm. "Shadow is not the enemy of light," he says. "It is its companion, its teacher." Lyra closes her eyes, breathing deeply. She touches her reflection's hand through the mirror. It feels warm, alive, not glass but skin. Tears slip down her cheeks as she whispers, "I see you." The mirrored Lyra smiles gently. "Then you are whole." Light bursts from their joined hands, rippling across the realm. The mirrors shatter, but instead of breaking, they dissolve into stars. Each fragment rises, glowing like tiny hearts of silver. Lyra stands, bathed in their light, her fear fading into peace. The voice within her quiets, no longer divided. She feels her soul expand, balanced between darkness and radiance. The realm of reflection hums with harmony once more. The ground beneath her shifts, forming a path of mirrored light. Lyra walks forward, every step echoing with clarity. She glances back and sees her reflection walking beside her. No longer separate, no longer unknown. The two merge into one, a single form of twilight and truth. The air brightens, carrying a sound like distant bells. The dreamscape acknowledges her growth, glowing with new color. She whispers to the still air, "I am both the night and the dawn. I will not fear myself again." From somewhere unseen, Morpheus smiles. His voice floats through the air like soft wind through crystal leaves. "You have crossed the first threshold, Lyra. You are ready for the next." The mist parts, revealing a river of stars flowing into infinity. Lyra follows its course, her steps sure and steady. Behind her, the mirrors reform, not as prisons, but as lights. They guide her way forward, symbols of unity within. And as she disappears into the glowing horizon, the realm of reflection sleeps, its silence now filled with calm, the quiet after understanding. The sky above the dreamscape shifts, deepening into endless indigo. Stars pulse softly, their light dim but yearning. Lyra follows the river of stars until it widens into a quiet valley. Here, silence reigns, thick, patient, almost sacred. The air smells of dust and distant rain, heavy with waiting. In the center lies a fallen star, its light faint as a dying ember. Lyra approaches, drawn by its trembling glow. Its once radiant form now cracked, its melody lost to time. She kneels beside it, her fingers hovering over its fractured shell. Morpheus's voice whispers through the stillness. "This star once sang the dreams of artists and wanderers. Its music guided hearts that searched beyond the horizon. But when humankind forgot to dream, its voice fell silent. Lyra closes her eyes, listening. She hears nothing but the slow rhythm of her breath, yet beneath that silence, something stirs, a memory, a pulse. She hums softly, uncertain but hopeful. The sound trembles in the air like the first ripple of dawn. The star flickers faintly, then settles again. Lyra's voice steadies, rising like wind through glass. Her song carries sorrow, beauty, and something unbroken. Each note reaches deeper, awakening what lies beneath silence. The star glows brighter, responding to her melody. Cracks mend, color blooms like dawn through clouds. A sound fills the valley, soft, luminous, eternal. The song of the forgotten star has returned. Tears shimmer in Lyra's eyes as light envelops her. She feels the song flow through her veins, ancient and new. Images fill her mind, painters dreaming of skies, poets breathing starlight. Each dream reborn finds its voice through her song. The star pulses with gratitude, its core blazing gold and blue. From within, a shard of crystal rises, glowing with twilight. It floats gently into her hands, weightless yet powerful. Morpheus's voice reaches her once more, warm and reverent. "This is the Twilight Shard," he says. "It holds the memory of creation, balance between silence and sound. Guard it, for it will guide your heart when light falters." Lyra gazes at the shard, feeling it pulse with her heartbeat. It hums faintly, echoing the song she sang. She whispers, "I will protect it. Its light will not fade again." Around her, the valley begins to shift. Where shadows once lingered, flowers of light bloom in spirals. The river of stars flows brighter, alive with music. She rises, the shard cradled close to her chest. For the first time, she feels truly connected to stars, to dreams, to herself. The song of the forgotten star follows her as she walks on. Its melody trails behind, weaving into the dreamscape. Each note carries a promise that beauty, once lost, can be reborn. The constellations rearrange themselves into a new pattern. A symbol appears above her, half sun, half moon. Lyra smiles softly, whispering to the glowing sky. Even in silence, the song remains. The dreamscape answers with light and calm. Far above, Morpheus watches, his eyes full of pride and quiet awe. The champion of Twilight walks onward, her heart a bridge between worlds. Lyra walks through a corridor of starlight, her path glowing beneath her feet. The shard in her hand hums softly, pulsing with quiet rhythm. The dreamscape feels alive now, breathing, shifting, aware. Colors drift through the air like silk, soft and infinite. Morpheus appears beside her, his presence both shadow and flame. His gaze rests upon her, calm yet filled with unspoken thought. "You have learned much," he says, "but the final truth awaits." Lyra nods, her heart steady though her hands tremble faintly. "What truth?" she asks. "What must I still understand?" Morpheus gestures toward the horizon where day meets night. A great expanse unfolds, the edge of dawn and dusk entwined. "This," he says, "is the meeting of light and shadow. Here, twilight is born anew each moment." Lyra watches as gold and violet merge, forming a river of radiant mist. The beauty takes her breath away. "It's alive," she whispers. "It moves like thought." "It is thought," Morpheus replies. "It is the rhythm of creation." He turns to her, his expression soft but resolute. "Do you see now? Twilight is not an hour. It is balance. It is the harmony between opposites, the breath between heartbeats. The world believes in divisions, night and day, hope and despair. But balance is not found by choosing one. It is found by embracing both." Lyra closes her eyes, feeling his words settle deep within. The shard in her hand glows brighter, syncing with her heartbeat. "I can feel it," she says. "It's not just light or shadow, it's both." Morpheus smiles, his voice barely above a whisper. "You are learning to weave them together, as I once did. Dreams born from twilight carry truth that neither day nor night can hold." He raises his hand, and the sky responds. The sun and moon rise together. Their light intertwines, cascading over the dreamscape in waves of silver fire. Lyra lifts the twilight shard high, and its glow unites with theirs. The world trembles, not in fear, but in awakening. Dreams long dormant stir, finding harmony once more. She sees visions unfolding, laughter amid sorrow, light within grief. Children dreaming of peace, elders dreaming of youth, each dream a thread woven into a single eternal pattern. Morpheus's voice carries through the brightness. You are the bridge, Lyra, between mortal and divine, silence and song. You will remind the world that both shadow and light are sacred. Lyra's eyes shine with tears, her spirit radiant with acceptance. I understand, she says. Without shadow, light cannot be seen. Without night, dreams cannot breathe. The air hums alive with resonance and peace. Morpheus steps closer, placing his hand gently upon her shoulder. Then you are ready, he says. The dream now lives within you. Lyra feels warmth flood her being, not fire, but quiet grace. She bows her head. Thank you, keeper of dreams, he smiles faintly. Thank yourself, champion of Twilight. The light between them flares, soft yet infinite. The sun and moon drift apart, leaving only twilight behind. Lyra stands beneath it, glowing with newfound understanding. She whispers to the horizon, I will carry this balance to the waking world. The wind answers, filled with distant laughter and the scent of stars. The twilight fades into stillness, but its essence lingers in Lyra's heart. She stands upon the dreaming plain, feeling both light and shadow within. The air hums with the rhythm of new creation, fragile yet vast. Morpheus's presence begins to soften, like mist dissolving into dawn. You have crossed the threshold, he says, his voice calm as memory. The dreamscape no longer binds you, it listens. Lyra looks around. The horizon shimmers like a reflection on water. Each breath she takes stirs the dream into gentle motion. Am I still dreaming? She asks, her voice half wonder, half fear. Morpheus smiles faintly. You are, and you are not. The dream is no longer outside you. It is within your soul. She closes her eyes and the sound of the world deepens. She hears laughter, sorrow, song, the echoes of 1,000 lives. Every sound connects, like stars joined by invisible threads. This, Morpheus says, is what it means to be the Twilight's champion. You do not command the dream. You become it. Lyra breathes, feeling weight and lightness merge into one. The colors of twilight swirl around her, tender as a heartbeat. A figure forms from the mist, her reflection, but brighter. It smiles with her face, her eyes, yet holds endless skies within. Who are you? Lyra asks, voice trembling. The reflection answers, I'm what you have forgotten to remember. I'm the dream you buried beneath doubt. Lyra reaches out. Her hand meets warmth, not glass. The reflection merges with her, dissolving in a burst of silver light. A wave of serenity fills her, deep, boundless, whole. She opens her eyes and finds the dreamscape transformed. The once dim skies now bloom with auroras of living thought. Mountains breathe, rivers sing, stars drift like petals. Every dreamer in every world feels the pulse of change. Children stir in their sleep, smiling at unseen beauty. Artists, poets, wanderers awaken with tears and wonder. The forgotten joy of dreaming spreads like dawn across the realms. Lyra kneels, touched by the immensity of it all. It's beautiful, she whispers, so fragile, yet eternal. Morpheus watches in silence, his gaze full of quiet pride. The balance returns, he says softly, but the work continues. Dreams must be tended, even when the world forgets to dream. Lyra nods, understanding at last. Then I will tend them, she says, in shadow and in light. She rises, her form now, luminous, woven of starlight and breath. The dreamscape bows before her, recognizing its keeper. From the horizon, a melody begins, faint, haunting, eternal. It is the song of twilight, carried by every wind. Morpheus listens, his voice low and full of timeless grace. The dream lives on, he says, and so does hope. He steps back into the dusk, his figure fading like memory. Only his voice remains, echoing through the stars. When the world forgets again, the twilight will remember. Lyra lifts her gaze, the shard in her hand now whole, glowing like dawn. She smiles, and the dreamscape glows brighter in response. The light and shadow weave together one final time. The new dawn begins, gentle, radiant, infinite. The dawn spreads across the horizon, quiet and patient. Lyra walks through the new light, her steps soft upon the dream-soaked ground. The air feels different now, awake, aware, tender with possibility. The twilight shard glows faintly in her hand, no longer pulsing with need. It has become one with her heartbeat, steady and sure. All around her, the dreamscape breathes in unison. Every whisper of wind carries fragments of stories reborn. The rivers hum songs of memory. The mountains echo with laughter once lost. She looks to the sky and sees constellations shifting like living words. Each star writes a story, each glimmer a forgotten name. Morpheus's voice drifts through the stillness, soft as a sigh. The dream has found balance, he says, but it must not fade again. Lyra listens, her spirit steady, her purpose clear. How do I protect it? She asks. How do I keep it alive? Morpheus answers, his tone carrying the weight of eternity. By reminding the world to dream, not only in sleep but in life. Dreams are not escape, they are direction. They guide hearts to build what the waking mind cannot yet see. Lyra feels warmth bloom within her chest, a quiet certainty. I understand, she whispers. I will be its messenger. She looks around. The dreamscape shimmers, alive with new dawn. Every creature, every spark of thought glows with gentle radiance. The shadow and light no longer stand apart. They move as one. Lyra kneels beside a pool of mirrored twilight. She sees her reflection, neither mortal nor divine, but both. I am not who I was, she says, but I'm more myself than ever. The reflection smiles back, calm and endless. You are both dreamer and dream, it says, the bridge eternal. As she rises, the shard dissolves into her hand, leaving only light. The dreamscape opens before her like a vast, breathing sea. Every ripple leads toward waking, every shimmer calls her name. She feels a pull, gentle, certain, from beyond the veil. The world of mortals waits, still veiled in morning mist. She knows her time here has ended, yet the dream remains. Morpheus's voice returns, distant now, carried on wind and memory. Go, Twilight's champion. Carry the dawn where it has been forgotten. Remind them that every night ends with promise, not despair. Lyra takes a final breath of dreamlight, letting it fill her soul. The colors of twilight wrap around her like a farewell embrace. As she steps forward, the dreamscape fades into shimmering mist. Each step echoes between worlds, light and shadow intertwined. The sky brightens, a sun rising not just in heaven, but in every heart. She opens her eyes to the waking world, dew still upon the grass. Birdsong greets her, delicate and real. The air smells of new beginnings. The shard's glow lingers faintly in her palm, a memory made flesh. She whispers to the horizon, the dream lives on. Somewhere far away, a child smiles in their sleep, whispering her name, and Morpheus, beyond the veil, watches the sunrise with quiet pride. For the world has not only awakened, it has remembered how to dream. The world turns quietly beneath a sky painted in soft gold and lavender. Days pass, yet the twilight never truly fades. It lingers like a promise at the edge of every dawn. Lyra walks through the waking world, carrying the calm of dreams. Her eyes hold the shimmer of starlight, her heart the rhythm of creation. Wherever she goes, something unseen begins to stir. A poet finds lost words beneath the hush of evening rain. A child dreams of kindness and wakes with courage in their heart. A wanderer looks at the sky and feels for the first time at home. Lyra's presence is quiet, almost invisible, yet deeply felt. She listens to the murmur of life, sensing dreams beneath every breath. Each whisper, each laugh, carries a trace of Twilight's song. At night, she stands beneath the stars and speaks softly to them. You remember, she says, and so does the world. The stars answer in silence, their glow tender as memory. From the far reaches of the unseen, Morpheus watches. His form is shadow and light, his voice the hum of eternal thought. The dream endures, he murmurs, and so begins another dawn. He no longer guides, he witnesses, content in the balance restored. Lyra senses his gaze but does not look back. The bond between them is no longer distance, but understanding. She walks among dreamers, unseen but never absent. In her wake, the veil between worlds breathes softer, thinner. Dream and reality now flow together like tides. Artists paint visions that feel half-remembered. Musicians write melodies that echo through the stars. Children tell stories of Twilight heroes they've never met, yet somehow know. Lyra smiles when she hears them, her heart full of quiet joy. The Twilight shard no longer shines, it lives within every dream. Each night, when the horizon blurs between gold and violet, she feels its pulse in the world's heartbeat. No throne, no crown, only purpose, only harmony. She kneels in a field one evening, the air warm and still. Fireflies drift around her, their glow mirroring distant constellations. She closes her eyes and whispers, "Thank you, Morpheus." His answer comes as wind through the tall grass. "Dream well, champion. The dawn belongs to you now." Tears of peace trace her cheeks, lit by the breath of twilight. For the first time, she feels not chosen, but complete. She opens her eyes and looks to the horizon. The sun and moon hang together for a fleeting heartbeat. The world glows, balanced, whole, awake. She smiles, knowing her journey has no true end. Because dreams, like light, never die, they transform. Every dusk that follows will carry a piece of her story. Every dawn will hum the song of the Twilight reborn. And somewhere beyond the veil, Morpheus smiles once more. For in every dream, every heart that dares to hope, the Twilight's champion still walks, unseen, eternal, radiant.